Hello, family. Welcome to the channel. Sorry about that. We just had a minute and a half audio snafu. So good afternoon, family. Thanks for checking out today's video. If you're new here, my name is Jonathan, and I created this channel as a way to record my progress as I work towards my goal of losing 300 pounds. If you'd like to join the family, hit that subscribe button down below. Also, make sure you click on the bell icon so you get alerted when I go live or post new videos. If you'd like to participate on the discussion, you can join me most weekdays where I go live on YouTube around 4 p.m. Central Time, although I won't be around for the next couple of weeks, so you have to check back in August. Yes, I go live on YouTube most weekdays, or if you want to get in touch with me or reach out to me outside of my YouTube, you can consider joining the Discord I've created. There is a link for that down in the description below. Also down in the description below is a link to a Pinterest board. That is a great place for you guys to check out the different meals and recipes that I've been enjoying as I've been working towards my weight loss goals. Today is day 985 of my 3-year challenge to lose 300 pounds. So far, through a combination of extended water fasting and a whole food, plant-based, salt, oil, sugar-free diet, I have been able to lose 262 pounds so far. If anybody has any non-scale victories, I love hearing non-scale victories. If you have any on-scale victories, I love hearing those as well. If you have been succeeding with your diet, let us know what you are doing to succeed. If you've been struggling with your diet, let us know. Maybe there's something we can help you with. Maybe we've had to go through those same struggles, or somebody here has, or I have, who knows. So share it down below. But at the end of the day, what are some things that you are going to do or that you can do that will make staying on your diet easier than the alternative? Let's go ahead, switch over to the main screen here. A few people checking in already. Everybody telling me that there's no audio. Thank you guys. But Cindy, Carrie, Dingo, Stephanie, Jay, Amy, Pretty Girl's Mom, hello. I think Tennyson Yoga Girl, listening while out for a walk. That's awesome. Thanks everybody for checking out my live stream today. Very excited. We got a busy couple weeks ahead of us, and busy couple weeks ahead of me, and I'm excited to tackle the upcoming weeks. But unfortunately, because of how busy I am going to be, I will not be able to go live, at least for the next few weeks. I may try to post up a few videos. I was gonna try to get some stuff done ahead of time, and I still do have some. I don't know if I have time. It's very busy. The last 2 work days have just been nonstop. Today was another crazy day. I just finished my lunch right before the live stream here. It was pretty much ate lunch and then turned the camera on. And so it's been busy, and it's amazing how busy it can be, because 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I couldn't have been as busy as I am today. There's no way I would have survived it, or been able to get even half of what I'm getting done now. Cindy says it's okay, just say it, you're taking a vacation from us. Oh no, I'm not taking a vacation from you guys. It's definitely not a vacation that I'm taking. To some people, it is some people's vacation, but in order for people to go out and have a vacation, there has to be people working hard behind the scenes. And so that is yeah. I've been having stuff in my teeth recently. I got to get a pick or something. The Yeah, it's definitely not a vacation. Oh yeah, but it's a vacation for these people to feel like they're on vacation. Me and my crew of workers have to work pretty hard to make it relaxing for them because they're doing an incredibly uh, physically challenging um, event, and then they're calling it their vacation. I've been telling people that I've been helping people survive their vacation for years out there on RAGBRAI. Amy here says that they're making mega veggie chili right now for the first time. Curious if you usually double it when you make it. I would certainly believe that we double it. If not double, triple it. We eat a very large quantity of mega veggie chili. We got most of our kids on board. For at least trying it. Carrie says we do not double it. I'm wrong. Don't listen to me. Forget about everything I just said. I don't know nothing. I guess we don't double it. But if you doubled it, man, I don't even know. Could you double it and fit it in our Instapot? That seems like it would be a lot of vegetables. And then Pretty Girl's mom says, just make sure you get enough rest until you start your RAGBRAI journey. Yes, I have been trying to get more rest or get lots of rest the best I can. But yeah, because that week I don't get a ton of rest. And so that I need to go into it as rested as possible. Just like if I were to do a water fast again, I would go into that water fast with as much nutrition in my body as possible. I would take a, that's going to bug me. Might have water. Like I said, I was just eating right before. That's what you guys all want to watch, right? I was eating right before the stream here, so I didn't have a chance to look at my teeth, I guess. And then let's see, just make sure you get enough rest. Jay says, don't forget to do the weight loss Wednesday weigh-in videos. I'm not going to have access to my scale for the next 2 weeks. And I'm not going to I might have decent internet, but I'm not going to have the best internet throughout the whole week. So Cindy here asks, what is RAGBRAI? So RAGBRAI is an event that happens in Iowa. It stands for the Register's annual Great Bike Ride Across Iowa. And the Register is the Des Moines Register. It was the newspaper. The ride started, this is the 50th year that they've done the ride. The ride started, it was a couple of journalists from the newspaper that wanted to do a story about Iowa in small town Iowa. And they convinced their boss to let them do this bike ride across the state. And that kind of went from that year. The next year they had, a bunch of people that joined them. And then within a few years, it grew pretty large. And so this year being the 50th year that they've done the ride, they are expecting very large crowds of people. And the way the ride works is the riders start on a Sunday and they ride between 30 and 100 miles for the next 7 days. And so Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, it's 7 days of riding. And they go from the west side of the state and they get to the east side of the state. And there's lots of bike riders that do the ride. My company helps them get their bags across the state, and we help facilitate transporting them at the beginning of the week. So we'll meet them at the end of the ride, at the beginning of the week, and we'll bus them across the state with their bags and their bikes. And then each day while they are riding their bikes, we haul their bags from town to town, set up canopies for shade, chairs for them to sit, have some coolers with drinks. And the riders ride each day, and that's their vacation, is doing a 30-mile bike ride or a 60-mile bike ride or however many miles it is. There's thousands of people on the route, and there's roadside vendors, and it's kind of a traveling circus, I guess. Cindy here says that sounds intense. Yes, it's some people it's a lot of riding, but it doesn't have to be intense to ride that way. And I did that video. I talked about riding my bicycle to the post office and back, and it kind of being a leisurely ride. It wasn't me doing anything to try to, have a fastest time or go the fastest or, go the furthest distance. And, a lot of riders that ride this ride, they're not trying to get to the next town as fast as possible. It really turns into and I've never ridden it, so I can't tell you. I think Jean has ridden it. Yeah, she says, hopefully she'll be able to find us. Do we have any meal plans yet? Carrie is, saying, we don't right now, but last year we pre-made a bunch of food and some of it ended up ruined in a community cooler. So we may, buying it a bit more this year, buying potatoes on the fly. Yeah. So this year, with the ride being such a large ride this year, they knew it was going to be a large ride. It's going to be going through a lot of the larger towns in the state of Iowa. So, we will have a chance to go shopping a little bit more and get some more food. But, let's see. Jean here says that they're going to be taking some Go Leafside meals for emergency meals. That's great. Yeah, Jean is doing, this is the 7th time that she's done it. That's awesome, Jean. Yeah, it's fun. And it's an event where, you have a good time doing it. By the end of the week, you're ready to be done. And then 6 months later, you're ready to be back doing it again. So, but yeah, so it's a long week. And like I said, me and my crew have to do a lot of work to make it, easier for the riders while they're at camp. Throughout the years, our services have increased. When we first started, we really just hauled bags for them. It was just bringing, they had a couple hundred riders and we would just haul the bags and we would have a spot for them to camp. Now it's turned into a lot more service. We provide showers for our riders. So we have some shower equipment that we transport with us. That then creates a whole new slew of things to deal with as far as getting water and getting rid of the waste and things like that. And so Cindy says in here, I thought I was a badass going to the gym 4 times a week. Yeah, so I think I started to say it, but didn't say it, is that it ends up turning into like a 60-mile bike ride turns into 5 12-mile bike rides. Because that they have places to kind of stop. It's random, so you might get stuck in a position where you don't have a stop for 20 or 25 miles, or there might be another time where you have 3 stops within 21 miles, but it's not a 60-mile bike ride, just getting on a bike and doing it. They get out, they do 12 miles, stop, grab some breakfast, rest their legs, hang out. There's a lot of beer drinking that happens for some riders, because it's not it's a party for some people. Other people do treat it like it is the Tour de France and they want to see how fast they can get done. And other people do it like it's a pub crawl and see how slow they can get it done. And that's the great thing about RAGBRAI, is that everybody rides their own RAGBRAI. So everybody does their own thing. So, and that's what I like about it. Gene said that last year was your first year that you were on diet and you fell off plan because you had lack of options. Yeah, it's tough. Gene says it's like a rolling fair circus down the road, lots of vendors at the roadside. Yeah. And so, yeah, there's lots of different things that you can check out there. So yeah, it really just keeps us busy, and there's a lot of prep work that goes to it. I think I have 19 people working for me this year. I have 10 vehicles, and then we have another crew that that runs alongside with us, that they have 4 or 5 people and 3 or 4 vehicles that they take with them as well. So it's going to be lots of logistics and lots of planning, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that here when I get to my topic for today. Let's see. Tomo says, how tall are you? I am 6 foot even. Yeah, 6 foot is my height. And yeah, Gene said this is the 50th anniversary. Yes, it's a big year. It's going to be busy. So yeah, I'm 6 foot tall. And so when I get down to 220 pounds, I will be overweight and no longer obese. And that will be awesome. Let's see. So yes, this will be the 3rd time that I've done this event since I started this stream. And that it's been interesting throughout this year, running into that being the 3rd time I've done something. It was the 3rd time that we went to the family reunion last month. It was, the 3rd time that I had Thanksgiving. It was the 3rd time I had Christmas and New Year's. 3rd time that it was my birthday. And looking back at the previous 2 times that we did RAGBRAI, and the first RAGBRAI in 2021, I was 100% compliant on my diet. It was crazy that I was able to stay compliant on my diet because I had torn my distal bicep tendon the day before I left for the ride. And I spent the entire week with my arm in a sling, and I still stayed on diet, stayed on plan. And I ended up losing 15 pounds that first year. And I was much heavier. I went from like 325 to, well, not much heavier, but 325 to 310 in that week. And was just amazed at how much weight I lost that week, the first year. And then last year we had RAGBRAI, and I did not stay on plan the whole week. I ate lots of food that were on plan, but I wasn't compliant like I was the first year. And last year, I believe I just kind of came out the same weight as when I went in. I didn't gain any weight. I didn't lose any weight. Cindy Davison just donated $19.99 through Super Chat. Thank you so much for the $19.99. I really appreciate all of the support, Cindy. You say here, use it for the pub crawl. You bet. Yes, I'll be. I don't know if there's nothing at the pub crawl I can eat. I'll just tip the waitress with it, I guess. No, I appreciate that so much. We will definitely have to pick up some golden potatoes on the route for you. And that's awesome. Thank you so much. What was I talking about? I got distracted by Cindy here. The 3rd time, RAGBRAI. 2nd time, I didn't gain any weight. I didn't lose any weight. I don't think. I'd have to go back and look at my videos and see how I did. So, but I didn't stay compliant on the diet. I was eating last year. The thing that got us the most was, the Chipotle. I hate Chipotle 3 or 4 times throughout the week. And then I stayed fairly compliant outside of that. When we were in a town that had a Chipotle, I would buy a burrito and eat that. And so this year I'm really going to push to try to stay compliant again. I'd love to see a 5-pound weight loss. I don't really imagine I could possibly see a 15-pound weight loss, but, I would like to see my weight go down this time. And I've had one experience where I was compliant and one experience was when I wasn't. And they both came out fine in the end, but I would like to lose a few pounds this week. So Tomo asked, do you think your water fasting helps with loose skin? I'm not a doctor. I don't know anything. But if I feel like I have done very good in regards to loose skin so far. I water fasted from day 1 to day 41, and I haven't water fasted since. I think if you want my recommendations, I think the thing that helps the most with the loose skin is that I don't eat any salt. I think that, like I said, I'm not a doctor. I don't know anything, but I think the lack of that added sodium in my body allows my body to do things to repair itself that salt gets in the way of. I think that salt they use it to cure meat. They use it to keep meat from going bad or changing, So I think, to me, I can't explain it, but I believe it's the removal of salt from my diet that has caused the most improvement in my skin. Not just in the rebounding of it, the lack of loose skin. I do have some loose skin, but it's not awful. I believe it's the salt, and I can't tell you exactly what pinpoint of it is, but that's what my recommendation would be there on that. Let's see. Jay says, have to stay focused, Jonathan. You are almost at goal weight. Carry your sweet potatoes and veggie and fruit with you. Oh yeah. And we're going to have lots of that stuff, and we're going to pick it up along the way. It's impossible to know what I'm going to be feeling or doing because I have no idea what the weather is going to be. That is a huge driving factor in, the entire week. In 2012, we had the hottest year that I can remember. And I don't think that anybody who had a plan going in to how they were going to survive that week, it did not go according to plan. And that is, that can happen with it being hot. It could rain the entire week and have to deal with rain every day the entire week. I'm going to work at staying compliant and generally going towards not eating versus eating anything that's off plan. But it's, I can't predict the next 14 days. But one of the things I was going to talk about today, I've been listening to the Pleasure Trap book, which I'll talk about. I've been talking about that a lot. But one of the quotes that they had in the Pleasure Trap, and they have some awesome quotes, really, throughout the whole book, there's some great quotes. But one of the quotes that I really kind of hit me this morning was a quote by, who is it? Louis Pasteur. And the quote is, "Chance favors the prepared mind." And it just resonated with me. I have a very stressful 2 weeks coming up, but I've been rehearsing the next 2 weeks in my head for the last 6 months. And I feel like, there's a chance it could go bad. There's a chance that it could go good. And the more you prepare, the more likely that the chances are it's going to go good for you. And that is really that way with anything in life. This is a big project I have coming up with work. For you, it's also the same with the diet, is that I am going into this next couple weeks, and because of our previous experiences, I know how to approach it. I'm more prepared because of my experience, but then, and because of the education that I've done over the last 3 years, educating myself in this way, strengthening my resolve to stay on this diet by reading books like The Pleasure Trap over and over again, or picking up books like Eat to Live and How Not to Die or How Not to Diet. Um, and, uh, and, oh, Carrie's saying here, yeah, there's always a ton of fruit. Yeah, um, it's actually uh, there's a vegan dilemma I run into throughout the week, in that we provide snacks, we provide drinks, we provide fruit, and lots of things for our riders. But our riders enjoy things that are cheese flavored, and my employees that are out there. I have 19 people out there working with me, and they all are going to want different things to eat. And so I do have to buy some foods that are not vegan foods, which is probably the thing that kind of, I wish I could change the most. If I could figure out how to make it a vegan snack bar without anybody noticing, I would definitely do it. But that's going to be tough. Yes, Dingo here. So he says somebody needs to open a whole food plant-based truck that travels to the meeting towns every day of RAGBRAI. Yeah, there was a vendor named Carbo Hut a few years ago that they had a lot of vegetarian or vegan options. There's been other ones. Last year, we had the Chipotle. They also was a place that did acai bowls that I think that those were mostly compliant, but it was probably pretty high calorie. Pretty Girl's mom says Lara bars. Yeah, we'll probably have Lara bars. I am going to be relying on cashews and mangoes throughout the week for snacks. And I don't know. I probably won't get peanut butter. I think we probably had peanut. In fact, I know, thinking about it right now, I ate some pretty awful peanut butter sandwiches that first year with Ezekiel. They weren't awful. They were fine, but it was Ezekiel bread and nut butter, but I didn't have a toaster. And I didn't have a way to keep the bread frozen through the week. And Carrie says, yes, the acai bowls last year were yummy. So hopefully there's a vendor that has those there. Again, we're going to be in some larger towns. And so those larger towns likely have restaurants that do vegan options as well, or things like that. I think for us, a big thing is bringing our Instapot and having the tools to cook the food along the way. As long as we bring our Instapot, we'll be able to handle pretty much making any meal that we decide that we want to make. A cutting board and a knife, I guess, would be. Carrie says how there was peanut butter. I think that's let's see. Dingo says pork bellies is doing acai this year. I'm not sure. Or you meant Mr. Pork Chop. Okay, Mr. Pork Chop is doing acai bowls. That's pretty funny. Well, maybe they're seeing where the market's going. I'm gonna have to put you on hold real quick, guys. I'll be right back. Sorry, I'm back. I can deal with that afterwards. Jay says, take your air fryer. Well, we just do our potatoes in the Instapot, so we wouldn't really need the air fryer for the sweet potatoes. Or I guess, if you wanted to do, you're saying do baked potatoes or French fries. I really enjoy the yellow potatoes in the Instapot. And our air fryer is not as good a travel one. We have like that Breville one that is like a microwave. But yes, there's just making sure that we have those tools, that we're prepared for the situations that come up. And just, how important it is to continue to educate yourself. Like just thinking back, I've mentioned how, and many of you have done the same thing. The diet's going to start Monday. Monday is when the diet starts. And so all weekend you're like, okay, I'm going to go to the party. I'm going to let loose because I'm starting my diet Monday. Monday's the day. And then Monday shows up and you're like, all right, I'm up first thing in the morning. Today's the day. Diet starts. And then you go, all right, what am I going to do for my diet then? You decide that day what your diet's going to be. You didn't do any prep work. You didn't make any decision ahead of time. And I'm a little bit guilty of that because I kind of did the same thing when I started this challenge. When I started this challenge, I was like, well, I'm going to fast for as long as I can. I'm going to try to fast for 30 days. And during that 30 days, I'm going to do all of this prep work, but I did have to do some prep work to get ready for the water fast and for creating this channel. But this channel, my challenge started on November 1st, 2020. Yeah. But in reality, it started probably early October or even the end of September when I started gathering the equipment to create a channel and buying a scale that could weigh me, and getting things together to get started for that November 1st start date. So when that deadline came up and I was starting my diet, my chances were increased to succeed because I took that time to prepare. And starting this challenge in November 1st, that was the first time I had done that. Every other time my diets were just kind of, all right, I'm doing it. I'm doing, maybe I read a book, but I didn't do any education after that point, or I didn't do any preparation leading up to it. And so on all those diets where it was like, okay, Monday's the day, and then Monday shows up, and then I'm deciding then on Monday what I'm going to do, I had no preparation. And the chances of that succeeding are almost zero because I did it week after week for years. I said, okay, tomorrow, okay, Monday, okay, after this party, after this event, I'll start then. And I kept pushing the responsibility of having to do the diet, not only having to do the diet, but also preparing for the diet till after the deadline. So then when that deadline came up, I wasn't prepared. So of course I'm going to fail. So chance favors the prepared mind. And I feel like that's how this next couple weeks works for me. The more prepared I am in my mind, the better chance I am going to have at succeeding. And so let's see here. Tommy says, how did you break your water fast after 30 days? So I water fasted for 41 days. It was 1,000 hours I water fasted. When I broke my water fast, I did it with a juice and some mushrooms and onions is what I ate. I probably would get rid of the mushrooms and onions and just drink twice as much juice. I would probably juice refeeding for a couple days before I brought food back in. I introduced food too soon. I definitely had some issues with my stomach. Because I just tried to eat, I ate red peppers too early is really what happened. And so just slowly refeeding, slowly introducing things, starting with juice and then, soft foods after that. Yes, Jay says pick up a smaller air fryer. Big Lots has them for cheap. Gene says, Carrie, the one day you caught up with them, it was freezing cold and you could hardly finish it. It was delicious though. Carrie says you might spot us in line there. This is the daughter's first year joining us, and that is her kind of thing, or that's her favorite. That kind of thing is her favorite. Yeah. Yeah. And so Jay says, travel with your air fryer, you get a bag of potatoes and you always got a meal. Absolutely. Yeah, Gene. I'm sure you'll see us depending on where you're camping, I guess. But I know coming into town in Storm Lake, we're right off the route. Coming into town in Ames, we're right off the route. And so we might not be too hard to find in a couple of those towns. Let's see here. I'm excited, and it's something that when I think about traveling, I definitely think back to Chef AJ's book, The Secret to Ultimate Weight Loss. And she does a great job talking about how to travel and stay compliant on your diet. And there's lots of great advice for that kind of stuff. Like I said, we're going to be bringing the tools to get the food. We know that we're going to have access to the food. It's just going to be putting it together, having the time to cook. Like that's for me. I don't get much sleep. I go to bed probably around 11 to midnight. I get up at 4 a.m. And I head from town to town. So it's not, and I don't really sit down in between. So it should be good though. I'm trying to think if I have much else. I don't. I'm gonna miss you guys. I'm gonna miss checking in and doing the videos. This is the third time I've done it though, and it shouldn't be a big deal. Yeah. So Gene says the first night you're gonna be at Larson Park. Yeah, we're not gonna be anywhere near Larson Park. We're going to be over at a different park a couple miles away. I'll be running around in Larson Park because we're busing across 250 riders. That 150 of those riders are going over to Larson Park. They're coming over to visit you. That's where most of the main stuff is happening. I know when you get into that first town. And Carrie says, we'll try to check in periodically on Discord and Facebook. I might try to post some things on Instagram. If I do end up posting, it'll be like shorts or live video, not live videos. Shorts or just quick update videos. I don't even know what I would do as far as videos, but I might be able to do like a morning check-in, like, because I do a lot of walking. That would be something. I'll have to make sure my watch stays charged this year and try to keep track of my steps throughout the week and then compare my steps for those 8 days to what my steps are normally. Yeah, your NITC. It's the Northern Iowa Touring Company. No, Iowa Valley. I know a lot of the different guys that run the different charters. So I was trying to think of who I know from NITC or if I know anybody from them. From there, I'm sure I recognize their crew. It's kind of this weird community that is like, I'm running around town between 6 a.m. and 8 a.m. putting signs up and finding information. And there is somebody from all these other companies doing the exact same thing. So I run into them and see them and recognize them. And so I'm sure I would recognize. And then we also go to meetings throughout the year as well. It's a big event, so they do a lot of planning with it. But yes, I'm going to go do that. I appreciate you guys so much. I am really going to really looking forward to getting back. Joe and Mark, God, I think I know them. If the one guy is like a really old guy, but I can't remember off for sure. Everybody's old. Anyways, I'm getting out of here. I'm gonna have a fun couple weeks, and I am excited. I'm wearing a RAGBRAI shirt. Actually, half my wardrobe is RAGBRAI clothing right now because it's what I fit in. So I'm gonna get out of here, guys. Thanks so much for the support. Oh, here, let's see. Superfood Parent says, hey, everyone, popping in from, and of course say, wow, you're half the man you used to be. Congratulations. Looking great. Thank you so much, Superfood Parents. Yes, I am half the man. I'm less than half the man I used to be. Now I'm 2 pounds down from there. And I was actually heavier than 520 at one point. But when I started, I was 520. So yes, I'm very happy to be half the man I used to be. And, I'm excited to being maybe a third the man I used to be at one point. What would I have to be for that? Let me do the quick math. So 520, third of that, be 173 pounds. Gosh, I would be really skinny at 173 pounds. I don't know if that would be possible, but I am half the man I used to be. So yes, I'm excited. Or I appreciate the comment, and thanks for checking out my video. So I'm out of here, guys. Thank you so much for all of the support. I will be back. I'll be back. And it's not goodbye. It's see you later. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you get subscribed to the channel. Click on the bell icon so you get alerted when I go live or post new videos. Hit that thumbs up on the video, hit the like button on the video, all those YouTube things. And if you have not started your diet yet, get started right now. That way when I come back, you'll be like, hey, I've been doing this diet for 2 weeks. I feel amazing. I've lost 10 pounds. I've lost 12 pounds in 2 weeks. Start right now. Don't put it off. Don't wait till I come back and tell you to do it again. Get started right now, guys. Nobody reaches their goals, looks back, and wishes they would have waited. Get started today. We will see you in a couple of weeks.